6. Ultimate identity with the Buddha. To reach the level of ultimate identity with the Buddha, you must plumb the source of the Dharma, as Shakyamuni Buddha did one night when sitting beneath the Bodhi tree. He saw a bright star and awoke to the way. At that time, he wanted ultimate certification. And attainment. This is called ultimate identity with the Buddha, for at this time you have personally certified to the attainment of the basic substance of the Dharma and have truly accomplished Buddhahood. This has been a discussion of the wonderful Dharma according to the 6 levels of identity with the Buddha. The state of the wonderful Dharma cannot be known through deliberation or discrimination. It is wonderful, but few can use it. Long ago, there was an enlightened lay person named Pang. After his enlightenment, he thought, I have passed through lifetime after lifetime, through limitless ends, and only now have I become enlightened. It's a very difficult matter indeed. As to understanding the wonderful Dharma, it's hard. It's really hard. Like putting seeds on the leaves of trees in the yard. The leaves grow every which way and the seeds keep falling off. How much time would it take to cover them with tiny sesame seeds? This is like trying to cultivate and change one's thorns. They keep popping up every day. You try not to get angry, but something happens to test you out, to see whether or not you will lose your temper. You may decide to quit drinking, but then who should arrive but your old drinking buddy? You tell him, I've quit drinking. Just one for old time's sake, he says, and off you go. Then the next day another friend shows up and asks you out for a drink. You went drinking with so-and-so, he says, how can you refuse to go with me? It's not easy to quit drinking. It's not easy to quit doing anything that's bad for you, in fact. It's as hard to break those old bad habits as it is to put a bushel of sesame seeds one by one neatly on the leaves of a tree. That's what layperson Pang said about the problem. Although layperson Pang had a wife, he was enlightened. His wife was also enlightened, and so were his son and daughter. Hearing him comment in this way, his enlightened wife spoke up and said, You say it's difficult. I don't see it that way. For me, what I have to say about attaining the wonderful Dharma is, it's easy as I fight. On the tip of every blade of grass, the patriarch's mind. Every blade of grass, every bush and tree, they all reveal the Buddha's mind, seal Dharma, and the wonderful meaning of the patriarch from the West, Bodhidharma. Of the green bamboo and the yellow flowers, none are not prana. They are the manifestation of wisdom. As the Sung Dynasty poet Hsuan Hua wrote, of the colors of the mountains, none are not the clear pure body. Of the sounds of the streams, none are not the vast long tongue. The mountain's colors are all the immaculate Dharma body of the Buddha. The sound of the streams is the vast long tongue of the Buddha. As it says in the Amitabha Sutra, in his own country, each Buddha brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue, everywhere covering the 3,000 great thousand worlds, and speaks the sincere and actual words. What is not wonderful Dharma? Every single blade of grass is a wonderful Dharma. What is hard? What is difficult about it? So the two elder Pangs held opposing views. One said it is easy, the other said it was hard. Then their little girl, Ling Chao, happened by and offered her view on the matter. It's not easy, it's not hard. It's not easy, it's not hard. It's not easy, it's not hard. I eat when I'm hungry, and I sleep when I'm tired. This shows that the wonderful Dharma is within all of our daily activities. Eating, wearing clothes, sleeping, all are wonderful Dharma. True cultivators eat every day and yet don't swallow a single grain. All day they wear clothes but don't wear a single thread. Are these two statements self-contradictory? Are they lies? No. They describe a state in which the heart is not present, where one looks and yet does not see, listens and yet does not hear, eats and yet does not taste. It is the state of no heart, in which one eats and yet does not eat, wears clothes and yet does not wear clothes, sleeps and yet does not sleep. Although one sleeps, it is the same as waking. Why? Because one is not muddled. When ordinary people sleep, they have confused dreams filled with false thoughts. When enlightened people sleep, they are as clear as when they are awake. In China, there was a national master named Yu Lin who was extremely intelligent. One day, his teacher announced to Yu Lin and his Dharma brother Yu Feng that he would pass on the Dharma to anyone who could memorize the Lotus Sutra in a day and a night. Since Yu Feng slept all day, Yu Lin figured he could surely memorize it first and come out number one. But when he went to his teacher and said, I can recite it, what about my Dharma brother? His teacher said, he recited it for me last night. This was because Yu Feng's realm was like that of Pang's little daughter. Although he appeared to be sleeping, he was actually in samadhi. One can enter samadhi sitting, walking, standing, or reclining. People who don't know how to do the work find every place to be either too noisy or too unclean. If your heart is pure, all places are pure. So little girl Pang said, it's not easy, it's not hard. I eat when I'm hungry and I sleep when I'm tired. It's all a manifestation of the wonderful Dharma. The seventh consciousness is the consciousness of deliberation. The sixth mind consciousness is the consciousness of discrimination. In the Suragama Sutra, the Buddha tells Ananda, when you realize Buddhahood, it is because of your six sense organs. If you fall into the lower realms, it is also because of your six sense organs. The six sense organs plus the six sense objects plus the corresponding consciousnesses form of the 18 realms. The 18 realms are wonderful Dharma. They are manifestations of the first common storehouse nature. However, this applies when no deliberation or discrimination takes place. If there is deliberation and discrimination, one falls into the pit of the mind consciousness. If you tell ordinary people not to deliberate, they will deliberate even more. If you tell them not to discriminate, they will discriminate even more. They are unable to turn their minds to one-pointedness. They are unable to turn their consciousness into wisdom. Wisdom is a consciousness transformed. Consciousness turns into wisdom. Wisdom is also a wonderful Dharma. On the part of living beings, wisdom has turned into consciousness. Their inherent wisdom has turned into consciousness. Thus, the wonderful has become cause. The Buddhas have turned consciousness into wisdom, and so the cause has become wonderful. The cause is unwonderful. The wonderful is not cause. The Buddhas have turned consciousness into wisdom, and so within the pit of the mind consciousness, they obtain genuine wisdom and certify to the attainment of the wonderful Dharma. We have said that the wonderful cannot be thought of with the heart or expressed in words, but speaking around and around it, we still don't understand it. Although it is wonderful, we haven't understood it, and so I will tell another true story to prove the wonder of the wonderful Dharma. There was once a monk who recited the Dharma Flower Sutra every day. I have tried this myself, and in a single day you can just barely get through the entire 7 rows of the sutra, as the sutra says that the merit and virtue obtained by one who copies the sutra out is inconceivable. The monk decided to write it out, stroke by stroke, word by word. He reverently copied it without making a single mistake. He finished in the middle of a cold Manchurian winter, when he put his brush in the water to rinse it out. The water froze to form a lotus on the brush tip and continued to freeze, forming a larger and larger lotus. Because of this, he gave himself the name the Ice Lotus Bhikshu. Where did the ice lotus come from, and why did it bloom so big? Many people witnessed this event. It really happened. Would you say it was a wonderful drama? There was another bhikshu in China who served as an advisor to the emperor. Every day when he left the monastery to go to the court, as soon as he mounted his horse, he began reciting the Dharma Flower Sutra from memory, and by the time he arrived at the palace, he had recited the first row. Suddenly, one day, his horse died. At the same moment, a son was born in the house of a layman who lived across from the monastery. When the child was born, his mother had an inconceivable dream. She dreamed the monk's horse came galloping up to her house and ran right into her chest. Just then he gave birth to the child. Thinking her dream very unusual, she told her relatives to go see if the horse was at the monastery. Sure enough, they discovered that the horse had just died. She knew then that the horse had been reborn as a son, and so she sent him to the monastery right away to become a monk. The child was outrageously stupid, and no matter how the monks tried, there was no way to teach him to read or write. He couldn't read a single word and simply couldn't be taught. One day a bhikshu began to teach him the Dharma Flower Sutra orally, word by word, and he learned it right away. He learned the entire first row in no time, but couldn't remember any of the second row at all. Why was this? When he was a horse, he had heard the monk recite the first row every day on his way to the court, and so he could remember it. Because the horse had heard the sutra recited every day, it got reborn as a person. It is clear that the merit and virtue of the Lotus Sutra is inconceivable. During the Qin dynasty, a similar event took place. In Yunnan, there was a person named Chen Tungyuan who believed in Kuan Yin Bodhisattva and went to Pu Tou in Nanhai, the sacred Bodhimanda of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. To pay reverence to the Bodhisattva, after bowing, he noticed the monk reciting the Lotus Sutra and requested the monk to recite the sutra so that his dead mother might cross over to bliss and leave behind all suffering. The monk did so, and while he was reciting, the powerful ox in the man's home suddenly died. That was nothing in itself, but later that night, the ox came to Chen Tungyuan in a dream and said, "I am your mother. Because I created weighty offenses through improper speech, I was reborn as an ox." The Dharma Master's recitation of the sutra has caused me to leave the body of an ox, but unfortunately, I am still suffering because I am now in hell. Please ask the monk to recite the sutra for me again. Chen Tungyuan went back to Pu Tao Mountain and asked the monk to recite the sutra again. Although the monk was sincere in reciting the sutra, he liked to have a glass of wine now and then. Hearing Chen Tungyuan's request, he rose early and knelt in front of the Buddha to recite. By the time he reached the fourth row, his throat was parched. There was no tea around, but he noticed he had left his wine glass sitting full on the table. Before finishing the last 3 rows of the sutra, he drank the wine. Chen Tungyuan again dreamed of his mother. He dreamed that she came to him again as an ox. She said, "Son, while the first 4 rows of the sutra were being recited, a brilliant golden light filled the house and golden lotuses welled up out of the ground. But just as I was about to get out, suddenly they were filled with the stink of wine, and so the last 3 rows had no great effect. Please ask the Dharma Master to recite the sutra again." Chen Tungyuan related his dream to the monk, who realized that he was deluding himself by thinking that his drinking was a minor offense. From then on, he strictly observed the precept against taking intoxicants and began cultivating the way in earnest. From the above incidents, it is obvious that the wonderful Dharma is inconceivable and wonderful beyond words. Students of the Buddha Dharma who hear of the wonderful advantages attained through recitation of the sutra, that animals who hear the sutra can be reborn as humans, and that hungry ghosts dwelling in hell can be reborn in the heavens, may decide to take up recitation of the sutra as a form of cultivation. However, be careful not to become self-satisfied and think that because you have recited the sutra you have acquired merit. If you become arrogant, not only will you gain no merit, you will be wasting your time and will only be planting a few good roots. Cultivators must never be arrogant or haughty. They must always be courteous and humble.